The US women's national team open up their journey at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics tomorrow. These are some more notable games. Great Britain taking on Chile, China against Brazil, Japan against Canada, and obviously Sweden against the US. The US are looking to take the gold medal and become the first reigning Women's World Cup champions to take Olympic gold. And we are now delighted to be joined by two-time World Cup winner Ali Krieger, and she will be with us throughout the Olympics here on ESPN. Ali, it's great to have you. How are you doing?
I'm great, Kay. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an exciting time.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. Let's get started then, because you know what it's like to obviously be part of a World Cup team and also part of an Olympics team. How do the two differ?
I mean, World Cup championship is the pinnacle of our sport, and it's the biggest football tournament in the world. And so that in itself is what you dream of playing in at our level. So I don't know if that can really be touched, but then also you have, the 1%ers who make these Olympic games and get to win another gold medal. So each are fantastic in themselves, but obviously I love playing in a World Cup, and the Olympics is just such a different atmosphere. You're part of a bigger team in Team USA, so it's quite different, but same mentality.
How do you think the US are going to do then in the current situation? Because it's a bit different to what we're used to, obviously, with COVID, and there's the concerns, no fans there this time. How do you think it will be, and have any of the women expressed any concerns to you regarding this?
Yes, of course. I mean, we've all had that, doubt of having the Olympic Games again, even when last year when COVID just began. So I know that some of the players are a bit stressed, but, we trust in the doctors, we trust in the medical staff and the medical team of the United States, and also in Tokyo. And, that is putting trust in them, that they're doing the best job that they can to keep all the players and staff and teams safe. So that makes me feel better that they're doing everything they can to stay safe. And then as individuals, you have to really understand the risk and know that, you need to stay isolated, unfortunately, and within your team, and just focus on, each and every game, each and every training. And that should keep the team's spirits higher, that they have each other, they can support each other through this tough time. But ultimately, they're focused now, they're in the tournament, they're in their bubble, and they're not really worried about any of the outside factors. Yes, there's always that COVID doubt kind of creeping in, but we've lived with that now for a year and a half. And if they're taking all the right precautions, then I think it's going to be safe and they're going to do really well. Yes, it's going to be tough without the motivation of the fans and supporters in the crowd, but we thrive under that pressure always. And we understand that it's about the team, and you just have to roll your sleeves up. You have to show up, and you got to play your best.
So let's talk a little bit about that pressure, because never before have a women's team gone as reigning World Cup champions into an Olympics and won the Olympics. So obviously that's the aim for the US this time around. What makes you think it could be different this time around?
Watching the games this past 6 months of the women's national team, we have one of the best, if not the best, attacking games that I've seen and played with in my career. So this is such an exciting group of women who are so powerful in the attack. We have even Crystal coming out of the back, and even Kelly O'Hara on that right side. Getting into the attack as often as possible has been really exciting to see. I know that even the game changers coming into the game are such a threat. So this is going to be an excellent tournament. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of fantastic goals, but we are so strong. And I know that this attacking mentality that we have will show up tomorrow. And yes, Sweden will be a tough opening game for us. But, if you want to win and you want to be the best, you have to start off these games with the best teams.
Who do you think those main challenges will be then? Because you mentioned Sweden, and obviously there is a score to settle after 2016. And I've even seen that Alex Morgan said that for those players who weren't there in 2016, they'll be reminding them what happened.
Absolutely. It was such a tough game for us, losing that match and not moving on to the semifinals. But I think that Sweden is going to cause some problems for us, as we saw this past year playing against them and tying 2-2. I think also Canada showed in the She Believes Cup that they can step up to the plate. I mean, we have a target on our back. So as the United States steps into this tournament, we obviously always know that every team wants to go there to beat us. And Brazil has been looking great with a lot of their younger players stepping into these big roles that they need to be impact players. And so they've, taken it upon themselves to really produce some really beautiful football in the past 6 months when I've been watching. But yeah, those three teams, I think, are obviously going to pose a challenge. You have Team GB, who's always battling with the United States and wanting to beat us. And then obviously Netherlands, and that's going to be another tough game along with the host country. So there's a handful of teams that are really capable of causing some issues and challenges for the United States. But ultimately, we are such a big threat and gonna have a huge impact on this tournament.
So let's talk about the US then. Obviously, Tobin Heath's back, and that's great news. Alex Morgan says that she feels stronger than ever after her pregnancy. But there are some lesser-known names as well on the squad. Who's going to have a standout tournament? Who are some names we should be looking out for?
I obviously think everyone is so excited to see Crystal Dunn play. She's such an exciting player to watch. She brings her individual magic, and she gets the job done. And she's just been so consistent since she's been in this starting lineup for the past few years. And it's exciting to see because I've seen her when she just came into the squad, and now she's starting every single game and playing out of her mind. So that's one player who I'm really excited to see. Then you have, of course, our central midfield, where you have Sam and Lindsay and Rose and even Christy Mewis stepping in and playing. Kristen Press has had such an amazing year, actually 2 years, even ever since the World Cup. She's been outstanding, finishing everything she can get her foot on into the box. And so those are a few players that I'm really excited to see. And then solidifying in the back line, we have such consistency in the back, with Becky and Abby, solidifying that back line and making sure that, they keep things safe and connected.
We can't wait to watch and for things to get underway. And we can't wait to hear more from you, Ali, as you'll be looking on that game, or back on that game tomorrow when you join us on ESPN FC. Ali Krieger with us throughout the Olympics. And don't forget, for more on US soccer, never miss Football Americas. It drops twice a week with Sebastian Salazar and Hercules Gomez. It brings you everything you need to know about US soccer with the men's and the women's teams.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.